Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews. During the entire month of December, you're going to be seeing me in this lovely little getup. And on the Christmas weekend, when we discuss the final discussion for the Underworld series, Underworld Blood Wars, Santa is going to be on the stream instead of just this ugly mug. You're actually going to see the full getup. Also, stay tuned for next Friday, because next Friday is also the Underworld Awakening discussion, but it's also going to be an unboxing video as well. Because I spoiled myself this Christmas, and you guys might like what's going to be on there, so definitely tune in. So, welcome back to the Versus streams, folks. Angry Vader, good to see you. We got Santa Megatron. We got David Kotler and the Price is Right reviews in the chat as well as in the panel. First person who is joining us for this lovely episode 20 versus stream of season 1 is the Price is Right review. He actually recommended this stream or this versus stream, so he automatically gets a spot on the panel. And that is something that everybody in the next season, if you recommend a versus stream, you automatically get a slot on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me one that's good and that might actually be considered for a thing, you get the slot on the panel and you get to discuss it. Now, with that out of the way, we got the Price is Right review. Give yourself a plug. Welcome to the channel. And yeah, tell them what you're all about.
Well, just like any other awesome people in the Phantom Menace community, I like to talk about different cool stuff like Star Wars, DC Comics, and just kind of get involved with the discussions about all the wokeness in Hollywood and different types of entertainment news. I tend to get myself involved with that as much as I can and give my own input whenever I can, with honesty as well.
Any upcoming things you got going?
Well, like I said, I'm working right now, but like I said, once I get my new laptop, I'm hoping to get my own YouTube channel started myself. It's just hard to do with no good processing laptop. So,
alrighty.
But I'll get there.
Yep. Thank you for coming, and it's good to have you here. The next is the very awesome, very cool, very powerful Jade Shadow, or Mara Jade, the fun-sized peach. How you doing? How's it going? And what's going on with your channel?
Well, everything's going pretty well. Thank you for having me on. I'm sorry if I'm not exactly energetic tonight. For the past few days, I've been like tired to the point where if I like close my eyes, I could fall asleep. So I'm not saying necessarily I'm coming down with anything, but it's just one of those like winters where it's just that's all I want to do is hibernate.
Yeah.
Up here, so
I can relate.
like once the stream is over, I'm probably going to go to bed, even though it's going to be on the early side for me. But as far as my channel goes, I haven't exactly ignored it, but with school winding down, I've had to take like sidestep away from doing videos as constantly as I used to on my YouTube channel Jade Shadow, as well as stream on Twitch. But I hope to stream back on Twitch starting next week because Cyberpunk is finally coming out, and I've told people I'm going to stream it on my channel. So once I pick up my copy, I'll be starting that up again. But until then, catch me tomorrow evening. I do a live stream every Saturday with my nerdy home, Steph, called Talk Nerdy to Us, where we basically break down pop culture news from the good, the bad, to the ugly, to the cringe, pretty much. So.
And yes, folks, her channel is very cool. I'm actually a member on her channel. It's well worth checking out. Her and Steph, formerly her and Lethal, they bring a lot of laughs. They also bring a lot of good discussions. So definitely give her a sub. Hopefully, Soul Assassin will get his butt in here to give everybody some plugs, because I forgot to put that in the description. Sorry. And we got Darth Annihilus. How are you, brother?
I'm all right. It's finally Friday after a really long week.
Yeah. How's your channel?
Haven't really had the motivation to do much with it lately, but I have started streaming Mass Effect again in light of the Legendary Edition being announced, which I am excited for.
Nice.
It's the Long Flu.
For Mara, yeah. And
Okay, Mara. If you ever feel a sudden urge to, I don't know, worship a pain god or invade a galaxy, you should see someone about that, maybe,
yeah.
or just go about your day.
As for is it an Ayla Sakura body pillow? I ain't given any clues as to what it is because you might guess it if I give it away. But all I will say is that what is coming is an authentic prop replica, and that is all I will say.
Mhm.
Fascinating.
Nice.
But with that, we're still waiting on Lethal Land. We've gone through introductions and whatnot. So
No problem.
he hasn't responded, so I'm guessing he's still having internet problems. So we're going to get going, and if he gets here, he gets here. It's understandable. Aussies have terrible internet, folks. It's self-admitted by them. So, yeah, let's get into it. Vader versus Revan. Two Vergences in the Force. And yes, it has never been confirmed that Revan is a Vergence, but it's not exactly a stretch to say that he is, because considering that this man is a living balance point in the Force before thousands of years before Anakin came along, he wasn't born of the Force, but he was a balance point in the Force. So, yeah, this guy mastered light and dark. He was a very powerful Sith, and he was a very powerful Jedi. He redeemed himself. His will is one of the strongest wills I have seen in Star Wars. This man literally split himself into because of his will to live as well as his will to die. He is a powerhouse. He is trained under many old masters that were very, very powerful. And we also have Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, born of the Force, pretty much the Emperor's enforcer in every way possible. Emotional bitch at times, but still not one to shake a stick at and think you're going to get out alive. This man had a singular purpose after he was in the suit, and that was to kill Jedi. He is not by any stretch limited by his cybernetics when he was in his prime as Vader. So yes, this is going to be a good discussion. So as we start, without giving reasons why, who's going to win? And we'll start with the person who recommended Price is Right. Without giving your reasonings why, who wins?
Well, no, I said knowing both these characters, reading both of them, playing their game, watching the movies. I'm going to give a slight edge to Revan, but a very slim one. Not too slim, but it's a very close fight, but it's going to be Revan.
All right. Mara?
I'm really not going to give... I'm not going to pick one right now because to me, they are so close.
Right.
I mean, I could change my mind. I could, either way. But right now, to me, they're almost in a dead heat. I might get an advantage to one based on what I know. But I want to take everything into account before I make a final conclusion.
Alrighty. And Darth Nihilus, without giving any reasoning, who do you think will win?
Well, Revan. With, of course, all due respect to the recently departed David Prowse.
Yes. Speaking of which, I do want to say rest in peace to David Prowse, the original actor in the suit.
Likewise.
His portrayal as Darth Vader. I said this on I think I said it on Demogenized channel. When I heard that he died, and I even said it in my video tribute to David Prowse, when he died, it's like, oh damn. Because when I saw the original trilogy when I was 2 years old on VHS, and when he walks into the Tantive 4, I'm like, I couldn't say it as verbally well, but I was still able to think it, bad guy.
Yeah.
I knew he was a bad guy, but then I saw him holding up that guy. It's like, really bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember everything from when I saw the trilogy for the first time. All the feelings I had, fear, awe, wonder, excitement, all of it. And believe me when I say, his performance as Darth Vader is iconic. So, folks,
that's why I tweeted, like, that's the first scene. Like, you know, ever since that moment, and he steps through basically the mist from the blasters.
Yep.
And you see him just come in, put his hands on his hips, and just almost nonchalantly look at the bodies, like, oh, dead stormtroopers, oh, dead rebels, and then walk through the bodies. Like, that is a man that has really, like, at least at that point, no empathy left at all. He is almost a perfect killing machine, and and even though his voice is probably, I would say, the most memorable. Like, you say Darth Vader, like, most people would gravitate towards James Earl Jones's voice, because let's be honest, his voice is very, very iconic. But at the same time, if David Prowse didn't have the good physical mannerisms, like that scene where the generals and admirals are in that Death Star briefing room, and all David Prowse does when that one is giving him lip about the Force and the Jedi and the ancient religions and things like that, he just walks around slowly, calmly, and holds his hand up, and then I can't breathe. And that's the point. Even as a kid, I'm like, you want me to jump? How high? Okay, I'll start.
I'll just say this, going on to what Mara said, that basically Darth Vader created the famous phrase, like a boss. He just walks to that whole dead body, just admits, just like nonchalant, like a boss, choking that guy to death, and then So David Prowse really, I would say, personified what Darth Vader would look like physicality wise, and brought the intimidation. But like I said, you can't have Darth Vader without James Earl Jones playing the intimidation voice too.
Yes,
of course.
Any thoughts on your end, Darth Nihilus?
Well, when I first saw Vader, it was a lot like you. I saw the original trilogy on VHS in their original unaltered form, and when I first saw Vader, I was like, okay, don't mess with this guy. Listen, my favorite portrayal of Darth Vader isn't from any of the movies, as iconic as they are. It's from The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I sense someone far more powerful nearby. Where is your master?
Yep, but it was just a little boy. But I actually... Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's technically not canon anymore, but go on.
Who cares?
Sadly, no, but it was... Or Force Unleashed, the games, even the books, they were still very good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the things I loved watching was in the documentary. We will get to the Versus stream, folks. Just small segue because of David Prowse. But the Empire of Dreams featurette, the documentary, you actually hear David Prowse give one of the lines, tear the ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive. But his accent, it was almost comical. It's like, tear the ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive. It's like, I'm like, why am I laughing so hard?
Much respect to David Prowse. I'm sorry, your voice had to go.
Yes.
At all, so.
Yeah, no offense.
And one of the great things that Kirshner did in episode 5, Empire Strikes Back,
Love
he
that.
has him deliver a line to get the perfect reaction out of Luke, but the line that they went with instead with James Earl Jones was not the same line. Everybody knows the line from James Earl Jones. No, I am your father. Well, actually, the line that Prowse says was, Obi-Wan killed your father. And
Yep, that's true.
In the audio commentary of the DVD of the original trilogy special edition wise, with the updated effects with Ian McDermott Emperor and all the other updated stuff, you actually hear during this time in the part of the movie where Kirshner is like, David Prowse actually tapped on my shoulder when we were watching this movie for the first time. He's like, why didn't you have me say that line? And he's like, because it was a secret. But yeah.
So his line was a placeholder.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And so, yes, David Prowse, it is truly a tragedy that this world has lost another original trilogy member. I mean, Sir Alec Guinness, Kenny Baker, Carrie Fisher, Peter Mayhew, Peter Cushing, a lot of them, folks. They are all sorely missed, and they brought to us something that can never truly die, and that is our fanship for Star Wars.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll just say this: when you talk about all these people, and I told you, I think I sent this on your messenger, but yeah, when Harrison Ford dies, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, that's when I'm really gonna start weeping.
Trust me, when Harrison dies,
the whole world's gonna stop. Just watch.
Yeah, let's face it. When he dies, the world is gonna stop. I mean, even when Mark Hamill, as much as a douche, but as he can be, even when he passes, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be damn.
Yeah.
But now back to our regularly scheduled versus stream. So Vader versus Revan. So we've all given our answers except for Mara because she wants to hold back, and that is okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Well, like they're just so close now. Like I've already give the edge to either of them. It's Revan, but like that is a very slight edge right now to me. Like I make him weigh everything before I say, oh well, like Revan would definitely win this many matches, or Vader would definitely win this many matches.
Yep. And we will actually get to the out of 10s near the end. So my thought, without giving too much thought into it, would be Revan. But like I said, this is a very close fight. This is a very close battle. These are two beings that are Vergences in the Force. Now, for those of you in the chat or who watch the replay later on, a Vergence is a Force nexus, a concentration of such amounts of Force energy that it creates massive potential for anybody in proximity, or if it is a person, it is, or they have massive potential. Anakin
or
Vader. Go ahead.
I was going to say, basically the Nexus is basically saying, but insurmountable Force potential. There's no end. There's no way of telling what their max potential is. Basically, I was going to answer that. All right, go ahead.
Uh-oh.
I think you muted yourself, bro.
Yes. Indeed. Or if you are a person who is a Vergence, you have potential that is, you don't know you potentially. Where No, did I mute myself?
No, you're good now. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Always hear
Oh, crap. Okay.
Oh, great! Now the audio's out of sync.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
you. Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
I think I'm done.
Well,
And there we
we'll
go.
try to hold down the fort until our host comes back.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to add on to his point that basically a force virgin is basically, like I said, someone who's born with the insurmountable force potential that no one knows what their limits are, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and like people would obviously, at least from Vader, know the fact that he was created from the Force,
Mm-hmm.
which is, accounts for his incredibly high midichlorian count. Now, whatever your feelings are for those, I understand where George Lucas is coming from with that. I'm not exactly entirely a fan of that, but at the same time, I feel like he changed it in a way because if you say like anyone can become a Jedi, then they lose their exclusivity, like they're the mythos surrounding them.
If anyone can become a Jedi, why would you become anything else?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
by basically creating something that at least can be measured or tested, then okay, I see where he was going.
And the
Did he
and the
found
Darth
another
and the Darth
another-
Plagueis novel goes a long way towards making midichlorians feel like a natural part of the universe and not just a last minute addition Lucas made to the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but that's what that's what at least people would. I think most people would understand is if they're going off the prequels, then that would be Anakin being created from the Force, literally. So like almost like Force made physical. Then that's making a Force Nexus.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
So am I back in sync?
You're good now. Yes, on my end.
Yeah, I had to close a couple of windows because it dropped me out of sync. Dave Kotler, we haven't really gone over which Revan we are discussing. We are actually discussing Darth Revan, the Sith.
Well, me personally, I was just going to request that if you want to have all the information out for both sides, like Anakin and Darth Vader, then dark side Revan and light side Revan, I'll be fine with that too. Bring it all in. I mean, it's up to you guys, though.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we had to exactly touch on everything light side, but they were light side before they became dark side, and those powers crossed essentially, and then they went to the dark side. So
sure, why not? We can,
or
bring it all. Bring it
in. Yeah, bring it all in. Yeah, bring it all in. Doesn't matter.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what we want to discuss first.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start up because I requested this because I had this big debate on Facebook that I used to have until Facebook deleted it. But I posted this.
So
yeah, I posted.
We'll dial it up to power levels 9,000. Okay, gotcha.
I was going to say that. Anyway, I was just going to say that my Facebook account got deleted anyway, but I'm going to summarize most of the arguments in that comment section that apparently this fight between Revan and Darth Vader is basically a knight versus a samurai. One has brute strength from the Force, one who's really strong and brutality, who has, I guess, a tough exterior, who's able to bulldoze through opponent's defenses, while a samurai has, precision, agility, and finesse. And I see that in Revan and Vader. Vader being the knight and Revan being the samurai.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way of looking at it, actually. Also, Revan is indeed a military tactical genius.
Exactly.
He's like, we need to step in. The Mandalorians are going to, or if we don't, basically the entire universe is going to be speaking Mandela.
Yeah.
And he went in, he didn't just go in like a Jedi. He went in strictly to kill. He was like, we have to stop them. It's not going to be a pretty thing. We have to kill.
Yeah.
And he went in, he did it. He put the Mandalore on his knees,
Mm-hmm.
and he freaking snipped his head right off his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
It's like flip, and that's it. And he's like, I'm keeping this. You all can be dishonored for life. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And he kept the damn helmet. He buried the helmet. When he finally was redeemed, he told his friend, who was a Mandalorian, Canderous Oro, where the helmet was. And he's like, yeah, I was kind of a dick back then. He's like, no. Canderous's reaction to learning that this was the guy that basically slaughtered all of us is like, you don't hit. No, we respect that. So, yeah, I should bring him into a Verge stream next.
You take everything into account what Darth Revan did, and to still have the Mandalorians have their respect to the point where they thought if he had been born a Mandalorian, then they would there's no way we would have lost. Like they saw him and said that to get that amount of just like I said, respect, but almost like a reverence from the culture. Like that is someone who is. There's really no words for almost his skills as not just a tactician but a strategist. He came in not as a Jedi Knight. He came in as almost a military general. And he looked
pretty much, yeah. So he flouted the Jedi code. He's like, we can't win with this restricting us.
Yeah.
On the other side, that also Anakin Skywalker was also a general during the Clone Wars as well. He has his own experiences in war combat as well. I don't know to the extent of the Mandalorian Wars, but he still has his share about battle tactics, and he's a genius himself when it comes to strategy and battle tactics. That he's a master in my opinion in misdirection. Where he'll do something to one enemy, but then on his left hand do something else. So like one of those kind of unpredictable fighters, if you think about it. And so he kind of employed that when he was Darth Vader. That when I guess going back to Luke, he would throw stuff at him and then start attacking him at the same time simultaneously. Or the Game of Merrick fights as well. He would just humble the guy with all kinds of different things and then attack him with his lightsaber at the same time. So kind of throw him off his tempo, kind of thing,
Yeah, that's why I said they're so close. Like there are differences, but the fact that they're both tacticians for different reasons,
So that's like they have the same kind of mindset as far as tactician, but they import different abilities at different times.
Yeah. And
you're muted. I don't know if
Sorry,
it's
muted.
Mike, but we can't hear you.
Anakin also was.
I don't think it's just Mike. I think it's just out of sync for something.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed about Anakin during the Clone Wars show, he tests. God damn it! Not again.
No worries, man. No.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no worries, man. Hey, so I'm in my car or something like that. I'm not gonna be surprised if my phone does it too.
it's like one of my friends says, "Don't be sorry. Your internet should be sorry."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't help it, but yeah, like I said, Anakin Skywalker has his share of experiences in war and leading armies and stuff like that. So he's not a slouch in that either.
No, I think this is going to come down to I don't even think it would come down to force powers almost, because they can each create ways to protect themselves with the force. I mean, they can create a force bubble around themselves.
It's gonna ultimately come down to lightsaber strength and cunning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, here's my thing. This is why I say my slight edge would go to Revan, because the one thing that Revan would see Vader immediately when he starts fighting him is he'll adapt to his fighting technique, because the way he did with Mandalore the Ultimate, the moment he catches on to Vader's strategy as far as trying to bulldoze through defenses, he's going to anticipate that and adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest. That's Revan's biggest wheelhouse is his ability to adapt to the battlefield. Yeah.
And that's actually won't work perfectly because, as I was going to say before my stupid audio went out of sync again,
No, you're good.
And with my Kindle, folks, I cannot activate my camera because, well, it's stupid. But anyway, Anakin during the Clone Wars, he adapted during battle. He during a good example of this was during the battle against Admiral Trench, the first battle. He's like, okay, so this is his tactics. This is what he's doing. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I have a feeling that this is going to go through. And he freaking beat Trench at his own damn game. And the fact is, he's done it on numerous other occasions. When he fought Asajj Ventress, and I'm talking about in the Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, yes, he engaged in his anger, but he also adapted quickly to what she was doing. She liked to throw things at him. She liked to taunt him into areas. And when she started throwing things out, he's like, nope, you can have it right back. And she's like, and that threw her off. But once he unleashed his anger, and yes, Anakin's anger puts him in the Juggernaut range of Sith class. He will. Like the Vader versus Malgus fight, his anger is a great source of his strength in the dark side. And when all right, Lethal will be here shortly. And when he starts cutting loose, he's going to cut loose. And the wonderful thing about Vader is, even when he's channeling his anger, he doesn't get blinded by it.
Nope.
The focus of Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Notice when he was fighting Obi-Wan, he was unleashing his anger, yes. But notice the amount of focus he had when he was fighting Obi-Wan.
Are you talking episode 3 or episode 4?
This is episode 3.
Okay.
And in episode 4 as well.
Well, the only difference is Vader was holding back in the fourth one because obviously Obi-Wan put him in the first place.
Obi-Wan showing up threw him off. And when there's this awesome fan art that I saw somebody do where it's a bunch of flames over Vader or reflected off of Vader's helmet. And I actually turned that into a meme years ago. And it's like the first thing Obi-Wan saw when he the first thing Vader saw when he felt Obi-Wan on the Death Star.
See, I was going to say one thing about Revan versus Vader, that when I talk about Mandalore the Ultimate, that's how I think Revan will view Vader at first. Just some very more aggressive Mandalore the Ultimate and try to adapt to his physicality and how he can maneuver around his brute force, brute anger, like you said. If Revan can do that, he can slip past Vader's defenses if he can. So.
And yes, and as soon as Revan starts to adapt to Vader, Vader's going to be like, okay, he's adapting. Now I'm going to try it, or I'm going to do something that everybody knows Anakin is a master of. Winging it. Misdirection, winging it, completely being random.
Exactly. That's his wheelhouse. That's Vader's wheelhouse, being unpredictable. That's his wheelhouse,
Hey there, Fallon. Good to see you.
Hey, what's up? But that's Vader's wheelhouse. His ability to be an unpredictable fighter. Yeah.
Exactly. And yes, while Revan can use Force Lightning, we all know that the lightsaber can stop it.
Yeah.
So Vader is, like we said, Vader is no slouch. And even going by, and this is going to be Legends Vader. This is not Disney canon Vader bullshit. This is Legends Vader. This is Legends versus Legends. This is a person that taught Starkiller, who was extremely powerful and who was more of a primal dark side user. He used a more primal version of the Force. And this is a person that when he started fighting Starkiller for real, he's like, oh shit, all this training, I've never known this man to cut loose before, and I'm getting my ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is where Vader will toy with you to test your. He'll test you. He'll see what makes you tick. And while he's doing all of this, he's also absorbing the battlefield around him.
Mm-hmm.
He's observing what can I use, what can I do, and how can I use all of this for my advantage. Now, here's the thing. Revan does the same. This is truly a battle of two intellectual force users that thrive on battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly.
And that is why.
Yep.
That is why this battle is so close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yes, Phelan, we mentioned that about Revan. Both of them are actually like master strategists. I probably would still give the edge to Revan as far as his at least intelligence as a tactician, but they each had different experiences in a way. Like basically, Revan was primarily focused on like one war. Like both are one war, but basically it was like one ultimate battle for Revan. Whereas Anakin had with the Clone Wars multiple battles. So he throughout the 3 years for the Clone Wars, those 3 years like basically cemented his adaptive skills.
Yep.
Revan already had those, but the Clone Wars cemented them in Anakin to the point where like you're taking these two almost equal forces against each other.
Yep. See, my thing is, I think the peak of Revan's tactician abilities or his mindset comes from when he defeated Mandalore the Ultimate. That because when you think about it, the Mandalorians were not droids because he was fighting against droids, Anakin Skywalker, but because Revan was facing down Mandalorians. Yeah. The only non-force using, I guess group of people who were able to fight and defeat Jedi or kill a Jedi, and he's able to defeat their leader. And it just shows you how much of a level of tactical awareness that Revan has against Mandalorians, while Anakin has maybe a few stormtroopers, but he also was dealing more battle droids than anything else.
Oh, it wasn't just Jedi that they fought. They could also best Sith.
Absolutely, yeah.
Here's the thing about Mandalorians, folks, and this was actually discussed in Legends when Vader was talking to Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back, and he tells him no disintegrations. Everybody, or when Boba Fett's like, as you wish, this is a person that Vader respected because he knew that Mandalorians
don't play around,
are not to be trifled with. They can actually pose a threat.
Yeah,
he also had a pretty grudging respect for Boba Fett because they have met before.
Like to the point where like, Boba Fett even had the cojones to like literally almost to Vader's face say he's no good to me dead. Like talk back to Vader. Like whenever putting Han Solo into carbonite. Like hey, like I need this guy alive one way or another. If he dies, I don't get my bounty. And like he's saying this to Vader, a man who all he has to do is raise his hand and force choke him.
Yep.
Like that tells you right there that there is at least a mutual, maybe begrudgingly, but mutual respect between the two.
Yep. So. And Vader was also not afraid to knock him down a peg. I mean, when Boba Fett wanted to shoot Chewbacca because Chewbacca was cutting loose at that moment, he's like, hands down, do not fire.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is though, but Boba Fett was obviously talking about Vader, but then again, Vader is the enforcer because think about it for a second. You have a whole room full of stormtroopers and basically the big boss staying right in front of you, and you're really going to point your gun at a Wookiee, then he's telling you to put your gun down. You better put your gun down because you're basically standing in front of like not to say political, but you're basically talking to the president of the United States of that empire, quote unquote, or the enforcer of the empire. So it's like, you're really not going to talk down.
It's like, you're not firing right now. This is this go on because this is something that can easily be talked down without us doing a damn thing about it. Exactly, so that basically expresses his intellect
And respect for Vader, yeah.
Yeah, and Vader knows not everything needs to be solved with violence.
Yep.
Put your damn blaster down, let this solve itself. Because he knew that there was a dynamic between the smuggler and the Wookiee. So he knew that there was only one person that could talk him down. You could try to kill the Wookiee, but then that would cause a whole nother load of problems.
Yep, exactly.
Vader is not, or especially in like Empire Strikes Back Vader, this is Vader in his perfect prime. This is Vader at his best, in my opinion. Even during, because in Return of the Jedi, he is deeply conflicted.
Yeah, to a point, you're correct. He's in his prime in Empire Strikes Back, but my version of Prime Vader would be more Rogue One. That when he finally unleashes his rage at the very end. To me, that was the first.
Yes.
See, that's
but
the first. I'm
talking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention that because, like I said, that was when he was more younger in his suit. Because in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi,
Rogue One was only about 3 years before Empire, so I wouldn't say he was young enough for him to be like younger. For me, Prime is during the Jedi Purge.
Yeah, true. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
The way that I'm saying is in his suit Prime.
Yeah.
This is a Vader with all the ambition. Because when he was trying to recruit Luke, it wasn't, yes, Luke was his son, but his entire motive was selfish. And this was confirmed by George Lucas. Vader wanted Luke to destroy the Emperor so Vader could rule. Yes, Luke would rule with him and he would have his son, but he wanted ultimate power. So that is what I mean. He was at his peak in the suit when Empire Strikes Back, because he had both the ambition and he had the skill and cunning. This was a person.
I would add to that hatred, literally, for the Emperor once he found out the name of the to destroy the first Death Star.
Yep. When he learned that this was his son, he's like, or after, I'm willing to bet, after they cut off that transmission, I'm pretty sure that Vader probably let loose another force-crushing rage. Because he's like, I have been lied to for the last how many fucking years?
Yeah. Almost 20 years.
Almost. Perfectly understandable reason to throw a little rage.
Yeah, I mean, he probably destroyed that room he was in and probably killed a couple of underlings that were wondering or that were a little too close and asked the wrong questions. I mean, this is not this is also Vader is a person who could force choke a person pretty much kilometers, miles away. This is a guy that could reach out across the freaking galaxy and just choke your ass out like a bitch. Let's face it, folks. He is the ultimate Dom.
Oh God, I'm just imagining Vader taking requests on Leia's wedding day.
Oh, dude. No. Just don't.
Oh, yeah, come on, it'll be funny.
It'll be funny, but just kind of creepy at the same time.
Yeah.
And at least Vader's rage, just to bring just an outside example into this. I know this is technically Disney.
Hang on, I'll be right back, guys. Right back.
All right.
But it's the 2015 Vader series. Now, I say technically Disney canon because I would bet it's probably in the plans, works before Disney officially bought Lucasfilm. But the scene where Boba Fett, I say scene, but the panels where Boba Fett reveals the name. And all Boba Fett says is the name Skywalker. Because he finds out the Rebel pilot's name shortly after the first Death Star is blown up. And then Vader says nothing. He's just staring out this viewport. And the next thing you see in the succeeding panels is just cracks in the glass. Yep.
His rage was peaking then. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if Boba Fett was in there, he would have felt it.
Yeah, and that is how you show rage, powerful rage. You don't I hate bringing up Kylo Ren, but you don't show rage by throwing a tantrum at a console.
Yeah. You throw rage by like keeping it in, but allowing a little bit to seep through.
Yeah, you don't.
Welcome to the panel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey,
I was having internet
what's up,
issues
Weasel?
before.
Finally.
I was having internet issues before. Sorry, I'm late, but it's good to be
It's
here.
okay, man.
Hey, it's
We're
always
gonna
good to see
go
you.
on. This is
Thank you.
going to be a longer versus stream. This might actually go to an hour and a half. So
That works for me.
So you're at the halfway point so far. But anyway, who do you think would win, Revan or
Well,
Vader?
I've looked at the title and it says Darth Revan.
Well, we're going with all information.
We're unleashing both of these to power levels 9,000. We're going all out.
I think Vader beats every single version of Revan except for Shadow of Revan.
Bullshit. But I respect your opinion.
Yep.
Wait,
Yep.
I've never or which one's Shadow of Revan? Because
The
The one that-
expansion.
Yeah.
okay, so expansion basically Revan Reborn.
Stronger.
My curious question is why? Because I said I requested this because it was on a Facebook debate. So I was kind of curious why. Why do you think Vader would destroy Revan in all those situations?
So this
Well, I
is
think we
basically. So I'm trying to wrap my head around Shadow of Revan. Is this the one where multiple players of the game go in after him?
No, it's the single player It's the story expansion.
Okay, so
after
it's
HUD Cartel, but before Fallen Empire.
Yeah.
yeah, I know which one, but I'm talking about on Yavin 4. Is this like
Yes.
Yeah.
him versus all the 12 force or basically almost everybody and even his freaking family members?
Yes.
Or is this where multiple one player or single players all go at him at once?
The multiple single players going at him at once is the flashpoint.
Okay. So this is Revan cutting loose completely. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because he incapacitates Darth Mar, frickin' Satil Shan, and Lana Beniko. And even though Lana Beniko is very obscure, she's no slouch.
No.
No, she's not.
I mean,
She's great.
I'd actually put her up to Mar's level, possibly even a little higher. And Mar is extremely. I mean, Mar is pretty much without the cybernetics. He's kind of Vader without the cybernetics. I mean, this dude is. No, we're small segue, folks. Darth Mar is in Knights of the or not Knights, but Star Wars: The Old Republic game. And when you're on Yavin and you're going through some of the rebel areas, and you can hear some of the offside discussions. A sniper had Mar dead to rights, and Mar didn't flinch. He just stops, looks at him, and he's like, "You're not going to fire. You're too much of a bitch." He basically gives him that look. He's like, "You're not going to fire at all because you honestly don't want to start this." That's the kind of Sith that Darth Mar is. He's basically Vader without the cybernetics. He's like cute sniper rifle. Whatever. I mean, this is the kind of force users that Revan went up against. These are force users that are no slouch. I mean, technically, one of his descendants, Theron, who he can feel the force, he just can't wield it.
Yep.
But he still is very skilled.
True.
Satil, you know what? I might actually do a versus stream next season of Satil versus Bastila.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Yeah, Satil Shan is basically the Grand Master of the Jedi Order at the time, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So she's very powerful, not a slouch in her own right either.
Oh, yeah. And even during the Fallen Empire, this is a woman who basically unlocked the secret to being even more powerful.
Yeah, and that's why this matchup between Vader and Revan is like ridiculously close because, like I said, they both have a huge vast of storytelling that tells who both these characters are. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, these are two Vergences in the Force. They're two Nexus in the Force. These are two beings that have extreme potential.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Anakin, yes, he fought basically the gods of the Force and brought them to heel. I'm pretty sure Revan could have done the same because Revan spoke to the sun in an unseen scene of the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They actually had it, for the most part, rendered out, just not perfect. And I remember seeing it's like, fucking Revan's talking to the sun. Holy shit.
Yeah. Revan's talking to Starkiller. No big deal.
But yeah, with Shadow of Revan, I mean, like I said, this dude he shrugged off a lot of the Emperor Vitiate's attacks. Vitiate could actually go up against the ones. No joke. He could go up against the ones. Abeloth, it took all three of the ones to subdue her. Abeloth would slaughter anybody. But Vitiate, he's like maybe just over half, or Abeloth is just over half or just over 2 times stronger than Vitiate. Where Luke is, or where Grandmaster Luke, meaning Luke in his complete fullest strength, is 13 times weaker, or Abeloth is 13 times stronger than him, where I would say Vitiate's like 6 or 7 times stronger than Luke. Okay. I mean, Revan, or to basically put the scales in there, folks, Revan shook off Vitiate and attacked him back and kicked his ass.
Yeah.
This is a person that is no slouch. Vader, yes, he is extremely powerful. Yes, he is also extremely weak against Force Lightning if he gets blasted with Force Lightning.
And have mobility.
Yes, that is his one basic vulnerability. But if he unleashes his anger, I mean, how does everybody think he survived Mustafar? He basically did what Darth Sion did to stay alive.
Man, literally too angry to die.
He dug so far into his rage that he was keeping himself alive.
Pretty much, yeah.
That was the only reason why he survived long enough for Palpatine to get to him. This is a man that, but even though he was in that suit, the rise of Darth Vader truly shows you just how powerful he could become if he lets go of all of his fears and constraints.
Yep. On the other hand, Revan, his will is so powerful that he literally willed himself back from the dead after being killed. If you remember that.
Yep.
He was that strong that he refused to die as well. That his soul split into 2. While basically his evil basically stays in the real world, while his light side went into the spiritual realm. So it's like he's kind of tied between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. You know,
something that I'm willing to bet Vader would have given his left cybernetic toe for.
Yeah.
I mean,
the one biggest difference between Revan and Vader is Revan, he was started as a Jedi, like we all know, but he turned the dark side, turned back to the light, became an in between, and his soul split in 2. So it's kind of he went back and forth. While as Anakin Skywalker, he really became a Jedi, then a Sith, and that's it. He didn't really have that much of a switch.
He redeemed himself. He went back to the light.
Yeah, but it wasn't. But it wasn't over and over again. Like I said, he started from the Jedi, Sith, and then back to the Jedi. That's what Revan went through.
I mean, there's a lot of theories out there. What if he survived Return of the Jedi?
He would be put to death by the Rebels.
That's kind of explored in Infinities to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't think that the New Republic would kill him.
I gotta disagree because, like I said, he destroyed Alderaan he was the Emperor's enforcer, and he killed millions of people on a planet that was,
He didn't destroy Alderaan. That was not his decision.
That was
true,
Tarkin.
but like I said, the people of the galaxy are not going to care about that because, like I said, he was the Emperor's
Very
enforcer.
true.
Because, like I said,
But,
there's a. I don't know I'm sure you guys know who Theory is, Star Wars Theory. Well, he did a video. Yeah, he did a video about the same subject where he talked about if he did survive, do you really think the rebellion is going to automatically just forgive all the travesties he's done as Darth Vader?
No.
Well,
They'd
no.
want
But
him.
at the same time, you can't exactly say that they would put him to death. I could almost see the equivalent, the Star Wars equivalent of the Nuremberg trials at this point.
Yeah, like they were like
Execution.
they would put him in life in prison or at least prison death or something. Because, like I said, because the New Republic's not going to want to do anything with Vader, even if they do find out. Because in Star Wars Theory's video, he also mentions that Leia finds out, or the entire galaxy finds out, that he was Anakin Skywalker in the first place, and then that's why Leia wasn't able to become the next Supreme Chancellor of the New Republic, I guess, from the Disney Star Wars. So
It's ridiculous because
yeah.
that's what I said. Like we're excluding Disney Star Wars. I still don't think they would put him to. I still don't think they would put him to death.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at this point, it's. I'm not saying that they would exactly welcome him with open arms, but
they would not. I can tell you.
The man who also threw the Emperor down the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a man who is. You have to take like so many factors into account. Like
true.
And it's just.
Well,
I don't think it's an open shut, like it seems. Just because he was at present for the destruction of Alderaan does not mean that he should be held accountable for it. Like it's basically like the same thing as like blaming Hitler's generals for what Hitler ordered, or basically blaming the Manson family for what Manson ordered. There's
a law.
like who's actually calling the shots.
True,
There's
but
a technicality in law. Just let me explain this very quickly. Basically, I can't remember what it's called, but just because you are there or able to do something, you do not necessarily have to do something. Basically, he could use that as a defense and say, yes, I was there. Yes, I could have prevented it. But did I? No, I could not. That kind of would have been very counterproductive to my life at that point. But or am I broken up about it? Absolutely.
Now, going back to Amaro's talk about how that Vader threw the Emperor down the shaft, which is true, of course. But then the problem is, like, how would the galaxy know that he did that? By the word of his son, Luke Skywalker? Because, like I said, all they're going to say is that
that's the hero of the rebellion. So, like, he would have no reason to disbelieve.
Luke has clout. Yeah.
Luke's the biggest hero in the galaxy, but also at the same time, the whole galaxy will find out. Yeah, your father is the most wicked, the most evil person we've ever met. And so, in my opinion, he might lose a bit of trust in some people of the rebellion too. Because think of it this way: imagine you're being the biggest hero of your game or whatever, and then people find out that your father is the one who did all these evil things to begin with. They were fighting against. So it's kind of I don't know.
Yeah, your father single-handedly wiped out not single-handedly, but he wiped out a shit ton of Jedi.
He is not his father.
There's a lot to. Let's just all agree. There's a lot to unpack there. If he had survived.
Anyway, going back to the showdown.
Yeah, getting back to the story at hand. So as these two, it's basically like I said. There's a lot of factors that go into this. This is a lot to unpack. You got Revan and Vader, both adaptive fighters.
Yep.
As one changes tactics, the other's going to adapt to it. And as that one adapts to it, the other's going to look or adapt to that. It's going to be a constant loop between these two. And the only, believe it or not, my initial prediction has shifted. I honestly think Vader could take this. Now, even against Shadow of Revan. Now, here is why. Revan was going up against 12 people plus one born Vergence, meaning if it is a Force user that does the whole Shadow of Revan thing, it's actually pretty much confirmed that any Force using class in the Old Republic game are Vergences. There was a lot more physical Vergences in the Force during that time. Jason Wilsom, what's her name for the consular?
Yeah,
the consular themselves, and the main Force users. They were all very powerful Vergences in the Force. They were living Force nexuses. This was a time where pretty much you could call it Greek myth, gods and titans. Now, but without the hard G or hard T. But these guys, but they were no slouches. This was when the Force was in its prime. The heyday but Anakin had that potential. He had more potential than all of them because he was literally born of the Force.
The Force, yeah.
He was created by the Force in order to restore balance to the Force. I do not give a fuck what that evil mouse smoking a blunt thinks.
Yep, I agree with that.
I mean,
for those of you who don't know, that's a reference to one of Lethal's old backgrounds.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I still think Revan will have the edge, just because Vader was born of the Force and brought balance to all that. Revan was the balance of the Force incarnate.
It was a balance point, not necessarily a perfect balance. Yes, he mastered light and dark, but he could not reconcile it, which is the reason why he was split in two.
That's true, actually.
He did at the very end of the expansion.
Yes, but then he united. He united in spirit form. He was completely dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is that I'm just going by if they were to face each other down right now. I'm just saying, going back to going that adapting to each other. That, like I said, the hamper mobility of Vader doesn't give him that much reach as far as the Force, as much as Revan is, because he's a full person. He has no cybernetics. So if Revan's able to adapt to Vader's cybernetics and able to get around that and then adapt accordingly, he could slip through Vader's defenses no matter how much anger he has. That's just my opinion, though.
Don't get me wrong. This is going to be a battle that will have a clear victor, but I do believe is going to leave the victor pretty much near death. I mean, have we all seen that picture of what it's like fighting a boss and winning with 1 HP left? Just a dude laying down with his thumb up, like, still alive, but fucking barely.
Yeah.
That's
Dark Souls in a nutshell.
Yep.
That's basically what's going to happen here. Whoever the victor is, they're going to be like knocking on,
battered up, bloody.
They're gonna be dusting themselves off for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's why my personal view is going to be Revan being that, just being completely battered up, bloodied up, and just like exhausted. Because like I said, Vader's no slouch, but as far as his hamper mobility is going to keep him from really reaching that limit to really in my opinion, outmatch Revan as far as combat and technicality. In my opinion,
I agree.
In combat, yes, Vader is at a disadvantage because Revan has mastered all of the styles of lightsaber combat.
Yep.
But when it comes to the Force, yes, he can wield some amazing Force abilities, but he can also, but so can Vader. Yes, Revan has called down fucking meteors.
Also,
Vader has killed people across galaxies.
Also, if we're counting powers that you can choose for him in the games, 2 words: Death Field.
Yes, there is a potential that Darth Revan has learned that. But here's the thing. Vader is or every Force user, when they go into combat, they instinctively create a Force barrier.
Yep.
This is explained in the Darth Bane series.
Right.
And
yeah,
That is a good point.
He can go through Force barriers like nothing. I mean, Sirach, basically the favorite of the Academy, kicked shit out of Bane, brutally beat the fuck out of him. Bane comes back, learns more about it, challenges Sirach, and then he goes through Sirach's Force barrier as if it wasn't even there.
And then he also ripped apart that. How do you pronounce his name? The guy he killed.
Which one?
Foharg. I want to say Foharg. Foharg. The guy. I forgot what species he was. I haven't read this trilogy in a while.
Darth Bane, you're talking about?
Yes, Darth Bane.
And give me a context of the scene or wherever.
Yeah, give us context. Yeah.
I can then tell you the name.
Bane's first training fight.
That was Kassim.
The night before he had the vision dream about killing his father.
Yeah, that was Kassim.
Oh.
That was Kassim. Yeah, Kassim was the Sith Jedi. The Sith variant of the Jedi Battle Master. It's training all the Sith to be lightsaber warriors. And then Bane crushed them with the Force. Yeah.
That happened
That was on
the
unknown. That was on Leon.
That was on the Unknown World or Lehan.
Yeah, I was thinking about Kassim.
He's talking about the Harg. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was the Harg that he was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about Kassim, the training master that was at the Sith Academy. Yeah.
He did bring the entrance of the temple down on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Kassim.
He brought the whole temple down on him.
Heresy, but okay.
That was Bane. He brought the whole fucking temple down on Kassim. He's like, okay, I'm not going to win this. Fuck you. I'm done. Clunk.
Fuck your temple. Smash.
That's Darth Bane. He's like, win by any measure. Fine. Temple down. Sit.
Priceless artifact? Fuck you.
Oh, he already took the priceless artifact, which was Revan's
Holocron. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, folks, Revan, if he knows this ritual, and we all know what ritual I'm about to talk about because we're talking about Darth Bane. If he had to, he could do it, and that is the thought bomb. But I do not think we lost the price. Is right. But I do not think that he would go that route. I honestly do not see Revan going for broke.
Even as Darth,
I think Revan viewed the thought bomb as we would view a nuclear explosion.
That's basically what a thought bomb is.
Even as Darth, Revan wouldn't do that because he saw the after effects of what he did to Mandalore.
Yeah, he saw what happened on Malachor 5 as well.
He would even though he knew how to do it, he wouldn't use it. It's kind of like if I were to give a real world equivalent, it's like how we detonated the nuclear bomb over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and then haven't done it again because we saw what happened. We have the capability to do it again, but we don't do it again.
Yes, this is basically this is what we can do. We're not ever going to do it again. But if you come at us ever like this again, don't tempt us because this is what we can do.
Yep.
But yes, Revan knows it, but I don't think he would ever use it. Because he saw what it could do. He saw what Malachor 5 did to Mitra Surik. She shut herself off from the Force because of all of the death and pain that she caused. I mean, if it wasn't for the mass shadow generator, she basically rivaled Revan in Mandalorian kills that day. In one action.
True, yeah. Funny enough, we're talking about Mandalorians. It would have been like so epic as hell if they somehow referenced Revan in the Mandalorian.
They won't.
They won't.
I know they.
And if they do, I will crucify that fucking mouse.
They already fucked with KOTOR once by ripping off the entire quest line
of the yes, but we're not here. We're not here to freaking review The Mandalorian as much as I like.
No.
That's for another day. That's for another day. Another rant. Back to the subject at hand, please.
I know.
Revan versus Vader. So let us actually start getting to the out of 10s. Meaning out of 10 battles, who takes the most? And we'll go with Price's Right first.
Well, like I said, as I said before, this is going to be a very slim win for either one. But like I said, going back from what I've known both victors, it's going to come down to a 6-4 victories. Vader taking 4, and then Revan taking 6. I mean, very slim to me.
All right.
My answer. Oh, sorry. I am very sorry.
Sorry, cleaning something up here. What was I gonna say? I still don't know. So many factors to weigh in, to the point where I would say it's a dead heat no matter what you do, like 5-5.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Annihilus.
I agree with. I agree with The Price is Right. 6-4, Revan.
All right, and the late Aussie.
Honestly, if we're going full out every version of them, I'd say 6-4 Vader.
All right.
Okay. So like I said, it's a very for other one. Yeah.
This is where it's going to get interesting. 4-4. 4 Vader, 4 Revan, 2 draws. Honestly, I can see this fight having 2 draws where both of them actually kill each other. And this is a complete, it's too close to call, folks. This is one of those rare occurrences where it is literally too close to call. I believe 2 versus streams ago, it was too close to call. Let me actually go to my versus streams playlist. There we go. But yeah, I have had 2 close to call ones. This one to me is too close to call. And which one was it? I believe it was actually the last versus stream. I think it was too close to call with Hellboy and Spawn. It was too close to call with this one. We get a lot of too close to call. This season has done a lot of too close to calls, except for some of our very earlier ones.
See, that's how you know you have. That's how you know you have a good showdown when you have two beings or figures that are so close. Like, damn, you can't tell who's going to win or not because they're so both incredibly powerful or incredibly well known. It's like, damn, how do you choose this fight?
Exactly. And the thing is, folks, we're going to have more of these in season 2 when we start up next year. And the very first versus stream of the next season will be January 1st, which is going to be Rambo versus Commando.
Nice.
Commando.
Now, yeah, it's the ultimate 80s testosterone showdown. But we still have one more versus stream to go before we close out this season.
Are you talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando or something different? I'm sorry.
Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, okay. That's going to be interesting, yeah. Okay.
Remember when I said I would kill you last? I lied.
Yep. Actually, it would have been funny that you had said, no, I'm talking about Hulk Hogan's Suburban Commando.
I own those movies. I am not ashamed to say that.
I love that movie.
I love that movie too, man. I was frozen today.
When you said that, I just had to laugh my off.
This was indeed a very rousing and very excellent versus stream. Price is Right. You came up with what I thought was going to be woefully one-sided. But as we continued to discuss it, it turned out to be one of the best ones that I have honestly, this actually was one of the better ones that I have discussed.
Absolutely, yeah.
A perfectly balanced end result, as all things should be.
Indeed, Mr. Thanos.
Yep.
Now,
Nice.
folks, everybody in the chat, who do you think would win? We have. Wait. Thought. I'm sorry, folks. I have neglected the chat, and I am very sorry about that. Soul Assassin. Love that one.
Thought bomb. That's true, yeah. The thought bomb, yeah.
Man, I survived an explosive that knocked Cybertron away from Earth's orbit. So, yeah. Spawn won the dance-off last week. He won. No, actually, he didn't, because Hellboy literally can't die unless he believes he should. And Spawn,
there's so much I wanted to say.
He also can't really die unless you have a literal weapon from heaven.
So, well, I gotta say one thing on that one real quick. I wasn't able to be part of that or be a part of the discussion, but yeah, just saying to will yourself not to die. No, I don't buy that. Sorry, I don't buy the whole Hellboy just has to have a reason to die. No, I don't buy that.
That's actual canon. That's actual canon for Hellboy. He cannot die.
I know that
he deserves
if
to.
It's canon, but if it's canon, but that doesn't make sense though, because like it's just me going on tangent for a second. But Hellboy and Spawn are basically created by the devil, quote unquote. So he can't really be any more powerful than the devil, because it would make him. It'd be like, how should I put it? Basically, the devil cannot create something that's more powerful than himself. So having the ability just to say
Godzilla killed both the devil and God.
Well, he didn't kill him. Well, Spawn didn't kill him. He just dethroned them. He banished them. He didn't kill them. He banished them. Anyway, but
yeah.
Like
anyway.
I said, yeah.
Moving on. We are going to start wrapping this one up. Stay tuned, folks, in 2 weeks as we do the season finale of the season 1 of the Versus streams. And this has been a wild ride, folks.
Oh, yeah.
And the next week's Versus stream is going to be the Battle of the Billionaires. Bruce Wayne's Batman versus Tony Stark's Iron Man.
Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one.
Batman all the way. I'm sorry, Batman all the way.
Yeah, I agree, because he's Batman.
Yep.
You guys want in on that one?
I know. My semester will be over, so I should be free. I just don't know about work. So a tentative yet, but I don't know about work.
All right, let me wait. Actually, before I actually make that an open invitation, let me check. I think we do got mostly a full panel for that, but I am going to double check. Because I believe that Lethal actually ventured interest on that.
Yeah, it's asked me closer to the date.
Yeah, yes, we got Angry Vader, Rosetta, Subhuman, Mongo, and Lethal.
Okay.
So,
is it a full stream?
If Lethal's unable to make it, you will you can be back up.
Okay.
Cool.
I was hoping to be there because I haven't been on a Versus stream with Rosetta before.
Oh, believe me, I don't think you want to get into that bed.
Shut
up. But yes, Angry Vader came up with that one. So that's one that he'll get the chair of privilege where Price is Right is sitting right now.
All I have to do is bring up the meme where it's Captain America say, "Take off the mask. What are you?" And you have Tony Stark's line, and then you look over at Batman and take off the mask. What are you? And it's like this litany.
Yeah.
That's all I have to do. That's my entire argument right there.
That'd be hilarious right there.
Folks, I'm actually going to give you guys a couple of before we go, I am going to give you a sneak peek of the first 3 season 2 versus streams. Sorry, had a brain fart.
Well, that's good, sir.
The first one, as I said, is going to be Commando versus Rambo, or Rambo versus Commando. The second one will be Dooku versus Darth Malak.
Okay.
And the third one, Lethal and Mara both know this, is going to be the battle of Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel. Kenzie Taylor versus, or Brie Larson, Captain Marvel versus Kenzie Taylor, Captain Marvel. And it's not just gonna have Lethal and Mara. It's having the full Aussie. All are coming to my channel, and it's like, you motherfuckers are definitely gonna want to be in on this. And believe me, I'm glad they all agreed.
I'd be sad.
Say what?
Mind if I add in a request for a showdown?
All right. What's your request?
Well, my request, if you guys are able, it can be after these ones, but my request is Trigon versus the Spectre.
I've got one too.
Well, I will write it down because I'm all the way set to to at least one in May. So Trigon.
No worries. No.
Because I'm almost halfway through next year with versus streams.
No, man. I just want to give a good showdown for you guys.
All right.
I've got one for you as well, Mr. Orange Hat.
Okay.
Captain Picard versus Commander Shepard.
I knew you were going with that.
That sounds ridiculous. I mean,
I gotta go with my boy Picard, man.
That sounds like a parody. I pretty much already got one-sided versus stream already set for next season, and that's but now that we are close to the end of season 1, I am now reopening suggestions for versus streams, folks. So if you do have a suggestion for a versus stream, send it to, if you are on Twitter or Facebook or even Instagram, send me a suggestion and I will consider it. And I will look up both combatants. If it is a fight that is fairly even, I will agree, or I will give it consideration and possibly approve it, and you will get a spot on the panel automatically. So with that said, folks, we are going to wrap this up, give final plugs, starting with Price is Right.
First, I have a question. Have you just done a basic Xenomorph versus Predator?
Actually, no,
a basic Xenomorph versus Predator?
I mean, basically not going all crazy, just basically same with Alien versus Predator, but do it as a versus stream, where it's would aliens have actually won AVP, or do you think the Predator would have won? Or
And Orange, I have a different one. You can forget the other one I mentioned. This one should be a little more, hopefully a little more balanced. Teal'c versus the Arbiter.
These got to be people I've actually heard of at least. That is one restriction. I need to at least hear of these people. I've heard of Trigon and Spectre, but I got to at least know of these people. So it's like, because otherwise that's just a lot of, and I mean a lot of reading that I'll have to do.
Okay. And not a Stargate fan. Got it.
As for Alien versus, or an alien, like one Xenomorph versus a Predator, or one Predator, or
I'd say basically on the Xenomorph army, armies versus each other. You have.
I have not done
Mind versus the soldier.
Predator. Huh. You know what?
Right.
Damn it. She just got herself another freaking. It's going to be Predator. So Predator army versus Xenomorph army. The
That's the first time
AVP.
I've seen it do it in Army, yeah.
And you just got yourself, I believe that would be a June of next year's Versus stream.
I apologize for all of my suggestions sucking.
Not
man.
all.
So it's fun.
I just gotta have at least a modicum of of knowledge about
I'm also
them.
disappointed that you don't know anything about Stargate SG-1.
I only watched the first Stargate movie, and that was it, man.
The show
Exactly,
is way fucking better. Show makes the movie look like a budget production.
I mean, I've seen a couple episodes, but that's about it.
I will shill for this show till the day I die.
All right, so let's give our final plugs. Price is Right. You go first.
All right. Well, I am the Price is Right, and it's been a pleasure speaking to all my good favorite YouTubers about my two favorite subjects, Darth Vader and Darth Revan. I picked this subject because, like I said, it would have been an incredible, tense, close fight, but it's always fun to do it around people I enjoy watching and getting to know more, and hopefully do it more often.
Indeed. Mara?
Hello, I'm Mara Jade. I go by Jade Shadow on my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get back into a regular schedule or doing videos a bit more frequently than like I used to do. However, coming up to the end of the semester, I am still going to be try to get one or two in before the end of the semester. But until then, you can catch me on Saturday live stream at 10 p.m. Eastern that I do with Steph from My Nerdy Home called Talk Nerdy to Us, where we break down pop culture news from the good, bad, to the ugly, to the outright cringe. And also next week, getting back onto the my Twitch channel, because I've let that go by the wayside because of school, since Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out next week, and I'm planning on streaming that.
All right.
Yeah, you definitely got to get back to Twitch, you thought.
Yeah. I had to sacrifice one this semester. Unfortunately, it was easier for me to make YouTube videos than to game stream. So it was easier.
Yeah.
Game offline. Let's put it that way.
Alrighty, Annihilus.
I'm going to try to get back into the swing of streaming again in between work and, finding the motivation to do that. But I'll be continuing my Mass Effect stream, especially since the remasters got announced, and I am super stoked for those. And when Cyberpunk comes out, all bets are off.
Yeah. And we all know who Lethal Lightning is, so bye! No, just kidding. Lethal, plug. We know what you got coming tomorrow, so plug.
Yeah, I got my stream coming up tomorrow in about, 10.5 hours.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's probably like the next thing coming up, so hope to see you there. It's
Nice.
a Victorian's birthday, so...
awesome.
No shit, it's the Rhino's birthday?
I'm not really looking forward to doing the stream, to be honest with you. I don't fucking care about his birthday.
Well, I'll say this, Lethal. You'll see me there. You always see me in your streams.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Well, just make sure that Lyndon has pants on this time.
No.
Yep.
It should be fine. It should be fine. We've got a
pants the last time.
Yeah.
Say it again. Sorry.
Is that a legitimate joke, or did he actually not have pants on?
You should have seen that.
One pants. But I was going to say it should be fun. We've got a clip, a very small clip that we got ABC to make for Rhino's birthday that he hasn't seen yet.
Oh, nice. Let me guess. I'm only going to guess, but I'm going to guess after we end the stream. But yes, folks, definitely tune into the Velocity tomorrow morning. I get my coffee. I go to the store and get a breakfast pizza, and I just freaking enjoy Lethal, Lyndon, and Rhino. Sub to all those folks because these are three fucking Aussies that, goddamn, man, they've talked to porn stars, they talked to porn directors, they've goddamn. I don't think, dude. The second you get Isaac Butterfield, you let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, dude, I swear to God, and I'm going to die on this hill, even if nobody else agrees. I swear to God, Odin's movie blog, Odin and Isaac are twins that were separated at birth.
Well,
I mean, if you put Odin's hair or put Isaac's hair on Odin, for crying out loud, and maybe give him some brown eyes, and there you go. I swear they're twins.
Oh, man.
And plus, they're also polar opposites. I mean, it's basically double impact.
They're completely opposite.
Yeah,
every way.
Very true. Yeah,
they're absolute opposites in every way. Exactly. But anyway, folks, that is going to be the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Santa Megatron, Soul Assassin, David Kotler, Fallon Reacts, who else? Annihilus for being on the stream, obviously.
Of course. You're welcome.
Price is Right. Oh, Jay, Sith Lord 3827. Sorry, I did not see you in the chat while we were discussing this, but dude, definitely thank you for showing up. Folks, I am trying to get to 2,000 watched hours before Christmas. If I think I am, you know what? I'm going to actually check that right now while we are on stream. So
sweet.
I think I'm at like 1685.
Wow.
So if you guys could definitely play my playlists, including this one, this is the longest playlist so far.
Sweet.
Yep, this is definitely the longest playlist because it's got like 20 videos on it, plus this one after. So monetization. I'm at 1660 hours. So I already reached my end of the goal or end of the year goal with subs. 600. Oh, so had a couple more subs today. Cool. 1660. Yep. So get me 340 more hours and I will totally enjoy that. Stay tuned for next week's discussion stream for Underworld, where I do an unboxing, which the only hint is an authentic prop replica.
Nice.
And you guys who are fans of DC, this is the only hint I am giving you. You will want to tune in with that one because I think you all are gonna like it. Anyway, folks, this has been Orange Hat Reviews and the illustrious panel. Sub to each and every one of these folks. Otherwise, well, you're just not that cool. No, I'm just kidding. You all are awesome and amazing people. Definitely tune into the Full Aussie starting at, I think, 9 o'clock on the Eastern Standard. So, yes, definitely tune in, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews and panel. Have a good one. Praise the goddess, as Lethal would say, because, well, there is a goddess out there.
Praise the goddess.
Yes, indeed. And everybody else, have a wonderful night. And as always, stay humble.